What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to your daily silver stacking video. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, I think a lot of you subscribe because I'm transparent, because I'm real. If the markets aren't always rainbows and unicorns, I'm not going to portray it that way. I'm going to show you the reality. I'm going to show you the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights. I'm going to show you the behind the scenes, the real truth of what's going on. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because if I did, that would be giving you false information. That would be misleading. That would be giving you false hope, leading into your stacking strategy, your decision making, ultimately the outcome of how successful you are as a stacker. Adjusting and adapting is critical, and we can still take advantage of this even if it's looking like silver prices may be extremely bearish into 2022. Now, we're going to talk about all of this. I really hope you enjoy this video. Please like the video and leave a comment. Let's see if this video can get 500 likes. 500 likes. If you right now watching, my friend, if you click that like button, this could definitely happen. So please like the video, leave a comment, share. It definitely helps the video get recommended and shown in front of more stackers. And I definitely think that everyone that invests in the precious metals needs to see this video, because we're going to be talking about several different articles and why silver might actually be extremely bearish going into 2022. Why is this happening? What is, and most importantly, what are we going to do about it? Right? We can talk about what prices are going to do all day long, but if we're not reflecting and adjusting and adapting and seeing how this can affect and reflect upon our strategy, then it's really kind of useless information. We are silver stackers. We are making strategic decisions based off information, and this information is given to us. Gamblers throw money, hope it sticks with the odds against them. Stackers, silver stackers, make a strategy based off of information with the odds in our favor. There's a difference between stacking and gambling, right? An investor makes strategic decisions, and right now we're going to figure out what our decisions and our options are. So the king dollar is set to be supercharged by the Fed into 2022. We know there's a direct correlation between silver prices and the dollar index. When the dollar is stronger, precious metals are lower, and vice versa. So they're saying that the dollar is going to be extremely bullish heading into 2022, which in return means that precious metals prices are going to be bearish. Now, the greenback is set for its biggest annual gain in 6 years, and its rally appears to be far from over, market participants say. The prime mover, which is a hawkish Federal Reserve that's drawn a roadmap of interest rate increases over the next 3 years, while other central banks look much more reticent with the withdrawal stimulus. And you got to look at something. They said they're doubling it from 15 to 30% interest rate. And you have to look at certain words. There's certain words they use, and you have to be very careful. They use words like we hope, we expect, and these are all assuming words. They aren't saying for sure what the rate percentage will be. They're not saying for sure what they're going to do. They're using words like expect, which is an assumption, which means that we don't know yet, but people will make their decisions and will strategize and invest off of an assumption, off of something that they don't even know, and a lot of times won't even really happen, and that's when the natural price will push through. So broad brush dollar strength, that's what you should prepare for. And that's what Vishnu Varathan, head of economics and strategy, said. And he said commodity currencies could be sold off harder, and emerging markets will also come under pressure, even if their central banks raise rates. And it won't be enough to offset what the Fed's likely to do. So investors positioning in the dollar and views towards the currency have turned the most bullish since 2015, according to Bank of America. And the greenback has strengthened versus all of its group of 10 peers in 2021, with Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index advancing 5.7%, and that's the highest since July 2020. There is a precedent for multi-year gains too, with the dollar gauge rising for 4 straight years through 2016 for a combined 28% advance. And when we're looking at the dollar index, there's a reason why my name is Silver Slayer, not Gold Slayer, not Gold Guru, not Gold Guy, not Gold whatever. There's a reason why there's such a big silver stacking community on YouTube and not gold. There's a reason why it's called Wall Street Silver, not Wall Street Gold. There's a reason. And that reason has a lot to do with silver's potential moving forwards, where gold simply won't advance in, where gold has no room to run. Regardless of what the dollar index is doing, silver can still benefit. Silver will still benefit. Gold, though, will not. When we're looking at the silver shortage, when we're looking at silver's potential, silver is going to take on a life of its own, regardless of what the dollar index is doing, regardless of stock market volatility, regardless of what gold is even doing. And that is approaching closer and closer as you see these premiums rising and rising. I could give you 10 reasons why silver will advance and be more bullish and rally beyond gold. Gold is like a volcano. Silver is like a volcano. This metaphor I use because it makes a lot of sense. There's 2 volcanoes, gold and silver. Gold's volcano has already erupted. Gold broke past $2,000 last year, the highest gold has ever been throughout the history of 5,000 years of gold and silver prices. That was the highest price gold has ever been, broke past 2,000. Silver, when that happened, did not erupt. And silver is gold's little brother. It follows suit, but it takes longer. Silver's volcano hasn't erupted yet. It's still bubbling. The magma is still forming. And it's magma when it's inside the volcano and lava when it comes out. Yeah, so the magma is still forming. And it's getting bigger and bigger, and the perfect storm is here. The stars have aligned. We're just waiting for that spark and that opportunity, and who knows when that's going to be. I'm thinking 2023, 2024, when the silver shortage is going to be in full effect with electric vehicles, 5G towers, solar panels, yada, yada. I think that's when silver is really going to shine, but we still have a lot to do. And the unknown variable you have to throw in, which a lot of people don't incorporate with their forecasts or predictions. There's a reason why it's called a prediction or a forecast. A forecast, like the weatherman. Is the weatherman always right, giving you the weather forecast? No, because there's unknown variables. Now, precious metals investors are in a very unique position, especially gold, because we benefit when things are going bad. So if you want your investment to be up, you almost have to hope things are going to go bad, which is a tricky situation. It's kind of pushing our morals, because we want our investments to do good, but we also don't want things to be terrible in our living situations in the economy, right? So silver also has that advantage. Now, this article is talking about precious metals outlook hinges on pandemic fight and monetary policy direction. So when I'm looking at the next year or so, there's going to be several different things, not just the first article talking about interest rates, several different things, very controversial situations and topics we could talk about. I'm sure all of you can name a few off the top of your hand, and all of these are going to affect the price of gold, and specifically silver, because silver is a much smaller market than gold. That's why silver is like gold on steroids. If gold's going to rise 10%, silver's going to rise 15%, but it also works for the opposite. If gold's going to drop 10%, silver's going to drop 15%. So let's go into this article as well. So precious metals prices trended lower in the second half of 2021, reflecting declining investor sentiment and soft physical demand. And like I said, there's a direct correlation between physical demand and silver's price. When silver demand is higher, the price goes higher. If you've ever seen a graph comparing the two, it's almost identical. So when demand is high, prices rise. We know that silver demand is going to be growing for the same reasons we talk about EVs, solar panels, electric vehicles, silver lithium ion batteries, 5G towers, so many things. So as we need more and more silver, demand growing just past 1 billion ounces this year, that shows and guarantees that the prices are going to be higher. Gold prices have been relatively more resilient, but were weighed down by outflows from gold-backed exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, and slowing central bank purchases. Silver prices slumped on waning industrial demand, while platinum and palladium prices plunged due to weak auto catalyst demand. Right, that's specifically in the automobile sector. I mean, when you're looking at some things, their entire price is based off of one variable. Where silver, you have so many different things. Silver is seriously, if you're comparing silver to not only gold or platinum, palladium, or stocks, silver has so much more potential, and there's so many more reasons why you would invest into silver compared to other things, even gold, right? It's silver, seriously, if you think about it, has so many things going for it, and especially when you incorporate what's going to be happening, or even could be happening, or should be happening, all of these things point towards higher silver prices, and you can't say that about anything else. So gold prices rose slightly in October and November after a marginal decline in the third quarter of 2021, supported by lower real interest rates. Gold prices have lost strength in the second half of the year, and like they were just saying, with the ETFs, etc. So industrial demand for silver, which has been supported for prices, has waned. And like we were saying, with demand down, the prices are going to be down as well. So when we are looking at the dollar index, we do have to be careful on what we wish for. Be careful what you wish for. The U.S. dollar is the world's reserve currency. Everyone across the world relies on the dollar's strength. And the dollar's only as strong as people think it is. So if people start to think the dollar isn't strong, it literally isn't strong, which could be scary because we see what could happen and what is happening. So, and the only reason America is the richest country in the world is because we own the most gold. And yes, if you compare that to a person-to-person basis, yes, no matter the guy that has X amount of dollars in his bank account, if you're looking at the country-to-country standpoint, whoever has the most precious metals is considered the wealthier person. But anyways, these are the top producers and fabricators of silver: India, China, Thailand, Italy, the U.S., and Indonesia. And those are the fabricators. And then the producers, obviously, you have Mexico, Peru, Chile, China. You know, the Mexico and Peru alone accumulate nearly 40% or 50%, and they got hit hard from the virus, especially with the distribution, with the boundaries and border crossings. You could see how that could be very, very detrimental and incorporate a lot of the price, affect the price very highly. So anyways, let's look into this real quick. This just talks about projecting rate hikes into 2022. So as the Asian session begins, silver advances 0.14%. Fed announces a faster bond taper, and its policymakers project 3 interest rate hikes by 2022. And the U.S. Central Bank projects 4% growth next year. Now you can see these words are projecting, expecting. They're looking at doing this, but we don't know for sure what's going to happen. A wrench could get thrown in and send things way off than what we know right now. So silver advances sharply during the day as the New York session winds down. Some up some percent, trading at $22 at the time of writing. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve announced a faster bond taper beginning in January of 2022, and according to the dot plot, could hike 3 times in 2022, fulfilling market expectations. So you could see why, you could easily see why the dollar strength is up, because there's news and people are starting to gain that faith back, that hope. And like I said, the dollar is literally only as strong as people think it is. So when you get news like this, people think it's stronger. The index stands higher and starts to rally. The Federal Reserve revealed an increase in the pace of reducing its bond purchasing program by 30 billion, double the initial amount, right? 15 billion now to 30 billion, doubling it, and it dropped the word transitory from its monetary policy statement, referring to inflation as exceeding the bank's 2% target for some time. And then Federal Chairman Jerome Powell, which I personally like because he's more realistic when it comes to this stuff. He held his traditional press conference after the Fed released the monetary policy statement. He said that the economy no longer needs increasing amounts of policy support. He commented that the pace of inflation is uncomfortably high and expressed that the Fed is making fast progress towards achieving maximum employment in his point of view. So you could see how all of these things would point towards higher, the higher dollar index rates and also lower precious metals prices. But that's for now. And if you're not planning on selling for the next couple of years, then this stuff would only mean one thing for you, and that is that you get to buy your silver for cheaper. The people that jumped on the Wall Street silver board, the train, they might be a little worried right now because they bought in at $30. They see their investment down to $22. And yes, that could seem scary, but as you start to learn about silver's true value, as you start to begin to experience corrections, dips, sell-offs, hikes, right? All these things, you start to become stronger, less worried, and the fear, uncertainty, doubt starts to go away because you see it time and time again. What happens, it goes up, it goes down, it goes left, it goes right, it goes sideways. But at the end of the day, as long as you're stacking silver and remember what its true value is, this stuff is irrelevant, and it only means you get to buy your silver for cheaper moving into the holidays, especially with Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to hit the like button. Remember, please like this video, please share it. I definitely think people need to see this, not just for the sake of me getting more views, but because genuinely I think people need to hear this information. It is important. So make sure you like the video and comment so this video does get recommended in front of more stackers. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.